nba2k Sports for another edition of NBA basketball. This is Kevin Harlan along with Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. Doris Burke will be reporting from the sidelines. And it's time to check the starting five, brought to you by State Farm. And breaking down the game, let's take a look here at Eric Gordon.
Well, Gordon is known for his ability to knock down threes. Tremendous range from the three-point line and beyond for Gordon. But I think what makes him dynamic is his strength and his ability to use the threat of the three-point shot to draw defenders out and then attack the rim from there.
That is scary on a player like Eric Gordon, too, Steve. I mean, you know that he'll start looking his way at the end of close games. So not only are you worried about him stepping up and knocking one down from deep, but you also know he can get to the rim and maybe create a three-point play.
Well, it was the New Orleans Hornets winning their last game against the Rockets in Houston.
They took advantage of an opposing defense that looked completely out of sorts in that game, guys.
Yeah, they didn't come up against much resistance at all. I mean, they had success with pretty much whatever they tried. You know, you look at the Hornets, and it's still a relatively new franchise. Originally in Charlotte, that's where that team started. They've only been in the league since 1988, Kevin, and they've had a lot of success in a relatively brief tenure.
Back to the Hornets since their formation, 1988, as you said, Clark. They've only missed out on the playoffs 12 times. That includes the first 4 years when they're just an expansion team trying to get their legs under them. Yep. So, Steve, not that bad a history.
No, not bad. And they're one of the better stories you can hope for if you're an expansion team. I mean, they really were amazing in Charlotte with their attendance, their appeal to that community. And now trying to build up a franchise in New Orleans with a young star in Anthony Davis.
And that is good. Gordon's got his first bucket of the night. Clark, some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, they need a basket just to regain some momentum here, Kevin. You know, he's a rarity in the NBA, guys. A big man who can launch it from deep.
And here are the Hornets now. Dirk Nowitzki getting his three to go. Outside Gordon. That falls. Great assist by Vasquez. Gordon's got his second basket of the night.
He's a guy that'll take it right into the teeth of the defense. A lot of his points come from inside of 5 feet.
Well, it happens. He's wide open, but just couldn't get it to go.
The Hornets have gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today.
Well, the things to love about Anthony Davis, he's 6'10". He's got a 7'4" wingspan. He can block shots, but he's quick enough to cover out on pick and roll. And he's so good offensively. He's got an array of skills down on the block. Left-handed jump hooks, turnaround jumper. It's just a matter of him getting stronger so that he can hold up to the physical play in the NBA.
And here's Gordon after the three-pointer from Sean Marion.
Boy, there was no hand in his face right there. I thought for sure he was going to knock that down.
Mayo, the pass to Marion. Fires for three. And Davis pulls it down. And for Anthony Davis, Clark, a great combination of length and mobility. Great defense, timing. He grew so much in high school. He began as a point guard, so he has a lot of those skills.
Yeah, and he's actually very good defensively. He's got an understanding of how to play defensively. He's got the mobility to be able to effectively defend some of those mobile, good shooting forwards that are part of the NBA now.
Just over 2.5 minutes played here so far in the first quarter. And Aminu slams it in.
From distance, that was an amazing pass.
That's about as long an alley-oop as you're going to see.
How about the pass to put the ball on the money from there? That's impressive.
We'll go to Doris Burke, who spoke with head coach Monty Williams.
One struggle they'll have in this game is finding the right person or combination of players to match up with Dirk. The problem, coach says, is how do you play someone who can hit jumpers at such a high release point while being quick enough to stay with Dirk when he drives? We'll see if they've come up with any answers, guys.
All right, Doris, thank you very much. For three, Gordon. The kick out to Anderson. Launches a three, and the shot is good. Anderson's got his first 3 points of the game.
I tell you, they might have to make a defensive adjustment. They can't give him that kind of a look from beyond the arc. Well, you look at Hornets coach Monty Williams, the youngest head coach in the NBA. He was an assistant with the Blazers for 5 seasons and was a favorite with a lot of the players there. Quickly rose up the list as a candidate for a head coaching position before being hired in New Orleans back in 2010. And with the defense playing that well, the double clutch was the only way he's going to get that ball off.
Some changes for New Orleans. Brand comes in for Chris Kaman. And it's Jones in for Sean Marion. And Coach Williams, a defensive-minded guy, really gets his team, Steve, to buy in at that end of the floor.
Well, when you coach under Nate McMillan, which he did, Monty Williams did in Portland, you know you're going to get a tutorial about defense and effort. And that's the way Williams really wants to be known as a coach. Tough, defensive-minded, and a guy who's going to work his tail off.
Count the bucket.
Boy, Kevin, I like the way they've come out here. I mean, they're shooting it well and with confidence from outside. Just a good, strong start for them.
Smith. That falls. Great assist by Vasquez.
See the way he attacked the smaller defender there?
That's what I call know-how. He knows how to use his size.
And here we go. Fast break. Henry's got it. Gets it to go.
It has been all offense here early.
It sure has been. I mean, both teams clicking, and it's been an entertaining game as well, guys.
Now, here's Collison. He has 7. Fast break. Here they come. That's a 2 from Gordon. Can't get it to go. And the Mavericks going the other way now. They're moving on after the tough loss they took at the hands of Miami.
Pretty lazy effort defensively that night from them, guys. You know, I know that it sounds harsh, but hey, I speak the truth.
Yes, you do.
Oh, look out.
The defense caught dozing off that time.
Yeah, those open dunks, pretty high percentage.
Yeah, you're not going to miss many of those. I mean, this is really a poor defensive effort.
And that last replay, courtesy of Sprite. Here's Collison. The quick look, no good that time.
This has been a strong statement by them, the way they've come out and attacked the glass early.
Yeah, I agree, Clark. I love the physical play, the fact that they're taking the game right to their opponents.
And the call will be against Dante Jones. That's his first foul. And it's a completely new group on the floor for the Mavericks. A big group substitution here for New Orleans. Davis is checked in for Jason Smith. Thomas comes in for Hakeem Ward. Roger Mason has checked in for Eric Gordon. And it's Rivers in for Vasquez. Tipped. It's stolen by Davis. Now 8 seconds separating the 2 clock.
Now we're cooking with gas, partner. My goodness.
A breathtaking display of aerial supremacy, no doubt.
It's almost unfair, guys. I mean, when you can get up that high, that's crazy.
Ryan Anderson, he's checked in for the Hornets. Aminu comes in for Xavier Henry. The Hornets have shot 2 free throws, and they're 1 of 2 so far.
And that's a little better than they did last year from the free throw line.
The Mavericks have gone 7 of 13, just over 50% from the floor. Some good looks. Stolen by Mason. And a fast break now for the Hornets. Mason's running. Here's Anderson, and the layup is good. Anderson's got 5 points so far.
Boy, they are really getting chewed up inside here. I mean, that's 8 of the last 10 points they've given up inside, in the paint.
Yeah, and the paint should be sacred ground for a defense. I mean, you can't let anybody just trot in there and get an easy bucket.
4 seconds left. Mason misses. Here's Crowder. Can't get it to go. Oh, we've seen some great shots in the first quarter. No shortage of offense. Coming up next. Now the second quarter getting ready to start up. Guys, what's your take on the Hornets so far?
And the key is you look at the steal totals for this team. They have really put good pressure on the offense.
Well, you know what? Pressure can lead to pilfers, and pilfers can lead to points. So we've got the 3 P's: pressure, pilfers, points. Get it done.
So with Nowitzki sitting on the bench, here's who Rick Carlisle's going with. They've got Elton Brand, Jay Crowder out there with Marion. Then it's Bobois, and it's Jones in at the 2-guard spot.
Well, for Elton Brand, the athleticism is waning a little bit, but he still finds ways to be effective. He's a smart player. He's got a deadly mid-range jump shot, and he's got a really good feel for the game.
And the shot's good from Crowder.
He may not be their top 3-point option, guys, but you still got to cover him. I mean, you got to defend him in some form or fashion.
And White kicks to Mason. Over Jones. Here's White. Second chance shot. And the rebound goes to the Mavericks. Lobs the alley-oop pass. And Jones slams it home.
How about the nice, exquisite timing on that alley-oop? Well done.
Yeah, two teammates in total sync right there. You're right, Clark.
Very harmonic.
Oh, man, it was beautiful. The pass was delivered right to the hoop. Set up that jam.
I tell you what, guys, for Brand, the release of that jump shot of his makes it tough to get to. I mean, it starts back behind his head and has a high release point, and that really keeps it out of reach of just about anybody that's trying to defend him. And then you factor in the soft touch. That's a nice weapon for him.
Crowder, the pass to Bobo. Marion. Pass to Crowder. There's the triple. Another for Dallas.
This is really the story of the game here. They've been excellent from behind the arc.
And the foul on Elton Brand. That is his first foul of the game. And the Mavericks will go for a different look here. Chris Kaman is checked in for Brand. White comes in for Sean Marion. O.J. Mayo, he's checked in for Dante Jones. And it's Collison in for Roddy Bobo.
Well, when you think about Rick Carlisle in his 11th season as an NBA coach, you think about consistency. Believe it or not, he's been to the playoffs in 9 of his 10 previous seasons as a head coach. He knows exactly what he's doing. Well done, finishing that one off.
Fires the three, and that one's good. 12 points for Collison.
Things are starting to warm up from the field for them this quarter as they add to their lead.
Yeah, it seems like everybody, Steve, has the hot hand right now.
Here is Vasquez, averaging 12 points a game. And it's Gordon penetrating. The pass to Davis. Flushes it down.
The defense just couldn't recover in time.
Yeah, the D pretty much went brain neutral on that one, Clark. Wouldn't
yes,
you?
Sir. I like that phrase.
Yeah, I don't use that phrase very often, but to me, that's what happened. He shifted the brain into neutral.
Yes, he did.
That was embarrassing.
And the Mavericks with some changes. Eddie Curry, he's checked in for Kaman. Nowitzki comes in for Brandon Wright. And it's Cunningham in for O.J. Mayo. Thomas checked in for New Orleans. Rivers comes in for Vasquez. And Carlisle on a new contract. His last 4-year contract ending last season, but the Mavs were adamant that he wasn't headed anywhere.
Yeah, Carlisle, fantastic coach, for Dallas. Been a great fit. Earned that 4-year extension with, winning that championship. But I think he has turned into one of the best coaches in the NBA, Kevin.
Mavericks leading by 7. Here's Collison. It's hauled in by Thomas.
Usually, if he gets to the rim, he's converting it into points. But the defense stood tall there.
And Davis with the basket on the assist by Rivers. Davis has got 5.
How about that play? Great body control. Still manages to finish the play despite the contact.
You know, when that whistle blows, you're not done. Get greedy and find a way to knock it down.
Dante Jones, he's checked in for Dallas. Bobois comes in for Darren Collison. Gordon for 3. And the rebound goes to the Mavericks. Their biggest lead of the game was 9. Getting their first look of the season at this Hornets team.
And predictably, they came out on top in the season series last year. We'll see if it's any different this time around.
Again, the miss by Gordon.
Shot seems to be a little awry today, just off a fraction. They've got to have him pick it up, though, and soon.
Nowitzki for 3, and that one's good. He's got 9. And as Steve brought up, the outcome of the series between these teams wasn't a surprise, given how they, Clark, each finished the year.
You're right all over it, Kevin. I mean, there was success on one side, and then the disappointment of missing the playoffs on the other side.
And the whistle blows is going to be on Roddy Bobo. That's his first foul. Looking at who's out there now for the Mavericks. Brand comes in for Eddie Curry. And it's Marion in for Dirk Nowitzki. The Hornets also changing it up. Hakeem Warwick, he's checked in for Mason. Henry comes in for Eric Gordon. And it's White in for Rivers. Here's Cunningham. No luck. And New Orleans will come the other way. 1:29 left now here in the second. Marion against White. And Jones pulls it down. Mavericks leading by 6. Cunningham kicks to Marion. Over Davis. And another basket for Dallas. We've got 1:08 left in the first half. White with it. He kicks to Aminu. He passes to Warwick. Down low, and Aminu slams it in.
Not stop. There's no way to stop that. I mean, there's nothing you can do when he's coming at him like that.
Well, that's right, Clark. Steve, he is a dangerous, dangerous player.
Yeah, especially when he gets to that launching pad right there in the lane. Pretty one-handed finish. That was nice. Well, if they didn't look at the scoreboard, you'd think they were the team trailing and trying to fight their way back.
Yeah, I like the energy they're playing with here, Steve. I mean, a nice uptick in their second chance points. You know, for a player with his explosiveness, that was ATM time. Cash money, the easy way.
Yeah, that kind of defense is not going to cut it against him.
Cash money. I like that, Clark.
White with it. He's picked up by Bobois. Baseline J on the way. Bobois pulls it in. The Mavericks leading. Brand kicks to Jones.
The defense was pretty good right there, but just not good enough.
He was determined to get to the rim.
Yeah, he really was. And he was going to go through whatever and whomever got in front of him.
And the highlight reel replay brought to you by Sprite. Good stuff. Stops, pops, and he beat the buzzer, but it's no good. So we've reached the end of the first half of play. Mavericks lead by 8. Well, folks, stick around here at halftime for the halftime show with Damon Bruce for all the highlights from our first half.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
Good to have you here. This is 2K Sports, and the NBA season is starting to take shape. The Mavericks off to a good start. They played themselves right to the bubble, sitting in 8th place in the conference standings. We've seen Darren Collison producing at will against New Orleans. He has 12 points and also has contributed with his passing, making some assists. And this dedicated Hornets team is weathering the storm. They've been getting roundly outplayed up to this point, and they'll need a bounce-back effort to make up for it in the second half. A tough start for Eric Gordon. An unsightly, untimely shooting percentage. Ugly game. Let's start off with a peek at some games scheduled for later on. Over at 8.
And we return here in Big D, Dallas, Texas. Welcome back, everyone.
We've seen Darren Collison getting it done. He has 12 points, and he's been able to sink a pair of 3 balls as well.
That could be key for him. He doesn't need to hit a bunch of them, but just a couple or 3 from long range. That'll open up the game for him.
Mavericks leading by 8. And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for the second half of basketball. So the Hornets 5 right now. Ryan Anderson is at the 4 with Anthony Davis at the 5. Gordon the off guard with Aminu at the 3. And it's Vasquez in at the point guard.
One of the most interesting stat lines I've seen for Dirk Nowitzki is that he's just the 3rd player in NBA history to record 1,000 blocks and 1,000 3-pointers in his career. You don't think of Dirk as a defender or shot blocker, but with that 7-foot frame, he's able to bother and sometimes even knock away some shots.
Here's Collison. The Hornets pull it in. Here's Aminu. Powers down the dunk.
Now, that was an incredible reverse throwdown right there. Tremendous body control.
I'd even go as far as say, Clark, that was a punctuation dunk.
I can feel that.
Send a message.
Yes, sir. A message and put it on the highlight reel for later.
Out to Marion. Goes back up. And the jumper is good. Marion's got 7 points in the game. The Hornets trail by 9. And for Nowitzki, if he's not the best power forward in the NBA, he's got to be right up there.
Yeah, he's in the class and in the discussion. I mean, you've got some young guys out there, Kevin Love and Blake Griffin, starting to enter that conversation. But for a guy you can build your team around offensively, you can't ask for much better than Dirk Nowitzki.
And all 10 of their last points have come inside the paint, so defensively you've got to make an adjustment.
Yeah, and you got to do a little more to stop it, too. I mean, it's coming way too easy for him. At some points, you just got to buck up and say it's not going to happen. Well, I like that he's come up with some big baskets for this team to help him out in getting this lead.
The Mavericks shooting their 3rd free throw attempt of the game.
Well, how about the numbers for this club? As a team, 79% from the free throw line this year.
Those are good numbers for any team. I mean, they can feel extremely good about their free throw shooting percentage this season.
Kicks to Anderson. Jacks up a three. No good. And the Mavericks going the other way now. Dishes it to Kaman. Solid play on the low block, and that one's good. Kaman's got his first points of the night. He feeds it to Davis. That falls. Great assist by Vasquez. Vasquez has got 5 assists tonight. Kaman, defended by Anderson, and finished off by Kaman.
That was a hole punch jam there, Kevin.
A nice finish.
Yeah, you got to love the way he just capped off that strong move.
Vasquez dishes to Aminu.
You look at what Aminu has done so far. He's got 8 points, and he hasn't forgotten to get his teammates involved either.
Well, that's important, Clark. I mean, he's conscious of the fact that moving the ball around gets the defense to move. It forces them to work, and it creates a better offensive flow for his own team.
Elton Brand's checked in for Dirk Nowitzki. And a change for the Hornets. Smith has checked in. Mavericks leading by 10. Collison, the pass to Kaman. Over Smith. There's Chris Kaman on the assist by Collison. Collison's got his 4th assist in this one. Anderson, a screen on Collison. Feeds it to Anderson. Fires from deep. And the rebound goes to the Mavericks.
You know, even though he missed that three-point shot, I think the defense has to do a better job of challenging the shot.
Yeah, because you know if you continue to give up open looks like that, you're in big trouble.
Boy, oh boy, to be young again. My, oh my. Got me thinking back to my days.
Oh, yeah, right. It does make you nostalgic, doesn't it? Oh, man.
Yep, reminds me a lot of myself in my younger days, too, guys. Oh, wait, maybe not.
Come on, fella. Power it down. That dunk was ridiculous.
There was absolutely nobody that was going to get in the way of that.
Not when he's coming with that much force.
Well, Darren Collison, the speed merchant out of UCLA, a scoring point guard, the son of 2 track stars. Boy, he's got quickness. You can't run away from that DNA. Boy, I tell you what, the D was way too soft right there, like Jell-O. You got to do better than that.
Look, he's not the kind of guy you want to get in the way of.
No, exactly. I mean, he's a hard man to stop coming down the lane, but you've got to have good position before the play starts.
Well, going back to Darren Collison, Clark, not just a speedster, he's a steady outside shooter, too. That makes him tough to handle.
Yeah, and I think, guys, the key for him is the development as a playmaker. You know, we know he can score. He's a scrappy defender, but that's where Collison can continue to grow.
Catching up on the changes for Dallas. Dirk Nowitzki, he's checked in for Kaman. White comes in for Elton Brand. And it's Jones in for Sean Marion. And good on the basket. Book it. Wright's got his first basket. The Hornets trail by 12. Here is Vasquez. And there's the foul. And Darren Collison picks it up. That's foul number 2 for him. Thomas checked in for the Hornets. .130 left in the third. Davis gets it to go. Davis has got 11.
They are in attack mode right now. That's 10 straight points, guys, all coming inside the paint.
And Steve, if I'm them, I'd keep going right to the heart of that defense like they have been until they do something about it. If they don't offer resistance, take everything you can get in there.
The feed now to Collison. The dish to Nowitzki. The shot's good. Collison making the play. Collison's got 6 assists in the game.
And an easy look from outside. You can't give him that much time and space.
No, and that's been a theme here tonight, Clark. They're going to have to do a better job of closing out and getting a hand up on three-point shooters.
Mayo, that's good.
That's 4 of their last 5 coming from long range. This offense is cooking.
Yeah, it's rolling, really rolling. And defensively, they kept collapsing, Steve, and leaving them open. So now they're in trouble. They're in a real dilemma now.
Gordon kicks to Davis. Back to Gordon. They get the rebound. Passes it to Vasquez. Over Jones. Out of bounds. Dallas will take possession. Both teams deciding to change it up. Mavericks leading by 14. Collison dishes to Mayo. Back to Collison. On the wing, Marion. He dishes it to Kaman. Collison, the tray, hits the bucket. Collison's got 9 points in the quarter.
Tell you what, he's draining the 3 ball at will, guys.
Yeah, he is, and they got to find a way to get out there on it.
Well, through 3 quarters of play, down double digits, it may be difficult to overcome.
61. On tap.
And thanks again for joining us. Let's see what happens here in the 4th. And now our sideline reporter, Doris Burke, has a report on our Sprite Uncontainable Game. Hi, Doris.
Thanks, Kevin. And it's the Mavericks with the Uncontainable Game Award for the offensive stretch they put together. They came out of halftime completely rededicated to the defensive end, and that allowed them to gain this advantage. Definitely a game changer as they head to the 4th.
Doris, thank you. That was quite a run they had. Quite exemplary of what we think of when we think about that turning point. Definitely a Sprite Uncontainable Game moment.
Yeah, you won't get any argument from me, Kevin. It was as big a factor in this game as anything. You know, when a team builds up that much momentum, it just becomes so hard to turn the tide back around.
Yeah, Steve, they just kept the throttle down. They sensed an area of weakness and then just continued to exploit it, never letting up.
Sean Marion and Dirk Nowitzki, both excellent players at the forward spots. Collison is out there with Mayo, and it's Brand in at the pivot spot manning the middle. That's the lineup in the game for Dallas.
And the foundation of his game is really his great shooting and rebounding ability. He's a guy who has a soft touch for a big man. Really fun to watch.
Yeah, for a guy who spends a lot of time out beyond the arc, he does a surprisingly good job in the offensive glass. Another reason he's able to score at a high level. Outside Collison takes the 3, and the shot is good. Collison's got 24 points.
What a half they're having from beyond the arc. It's getting ridiculous.
And there's no reason they shouldn't keep attacking from out there. I mean, they've got it going on in a big way now.
Chris Kaman's checked in for Elton Brand. And the Hornets making a change here as well. Henry's checked in. Here is Vasquez. To the middle, Henry. It's hauled in by Nowitzki. Nowitzki's got 3 rebounds so far in the game.
Well, how about Anthony Davis in this one? He has 9 rebounds, and he's contributed a steal to their cause at the defensive end.
Yeah, that's another area where he's done his share of work today. He's not ignoring his defensive responsibilities.
That one misses.
Well, there's no denying that height is a huge advantage in the game of basketball. Anthony Davis was a 6'2" guard in high school, but then grew 8 inches over the course of about a year or so, and suddenly a kid who was barely being recruited was being sought after by all of the top college programs. Man, things can change quickly.
Mavericks leading by 17. Here's Collison. Again, the miss by the Mavericks. Hornets have gone 1 of 4 since the end of the 3rd quarter. Gordon with it. Picked up by Collison. Back to Gordon. Puts it up. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up. Going back to Davis in that late growth spurt, he was able to develop an impressive skill set playing, as a guard before he grew to his present size. And, of course, he was a terrific player at Kentucky, Steve, and I think he's destined for stardom in the NBA.
Well, a lot of guys, Kevin, if they played guard in high school and then they grow, it's a huge advantage because now they've played the game and experienced it from a playmaking level, only now they're near the basket. So they have a broader understanding of the game and the way it's played. So I think that's one of the reasons Davis has so much potential. He's a big man with guard skills.
Easy shot. And there's Dirk Nowitzki on the assist by Collison. Collison's got assist number 7 for him tonight. Here is Vasquez. Aminu, the pass to Anderson. Aminu working against Nowitzki. Out of bounds. Dallas will take possession. Let's see what the Dallas Mavericks have coming up. They'll be off next to Utah for a meeting with the Jazz. It's game 1 of a 3-game road trip.
Some really good games going on today, guys. And the one that captures my eye is the Utah one.
Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Kevin, over that last break, I got a chance to hear what Rick Carlisle said to his team. He wanted his guys to keep up the intensity, saying, if any of you think this game is over, you're wrong. We've got work to do. I don't want to see any letdown on the defensive end of the floor. Guys, let's watch how it plays out.
All right, Doris, thanks. Vasquez kicks to Amino.
Boy, they saw the opening for that alley-oop, guys, and they didn't waste any time.
Well, those openings don't stay there for long, that's for sure.
That's right. It's got to be an immediate play because those defenses are so fast.
Mavericks leading by 13. Collison dishes to Marion. Nowitzki defended by Anderson. And Dirk Nowitzki hits from deep.
He's really picked up where he left off in the first.
The Hornets have gone 3 of 7 from the floor in the fourth. That's a 42% mark in the quarter. And Davis throws it down.
He's short for the center position, but he makes up for it with tremendous leaping ability.
The Maverick shooting has been outstanding in this game at 58%. Kaman passes to Mayo. Over Gordon. And there's O.J. Mayo on the assist by Kaman. Kaman's got 3 assists tonight.
This is a fantastic performance in this half. He didn't play as well in the first, but you just know with this guy, he's always ready to turn it around.
To the paint. Here's Davis. Here's Aminu. And he bangs it home with one hand.
That's what he's all about. That's who he is, retrieving those misses and exploding right back to the bucket.
Prime example of it right there, no question. Good point, Clark.
Yeah, great rebounder and a great finisher. So that's a difficult combination to deal with for the defense.
I can't imagine that we'll see one better than that tonight.
I'm with you on that, aren't you, Steve?
Oh, yeah, I'd be shocked if we saw something more entertaining than that one.
That was a great angle we just saw, courtesy of Sprite. Here's Collison. Another 3 for Dallas.
Fellas, they are heating up from outside now.
Yeah, of their last 5 hoops, 3 of them have come from long range.
Knocked loose. 1:32 left here in the fourth quarter. Outside Mayo. The shot's good. Collison making the play. 16 points for O.J. Mayo.
Well, he's getting it warmed up now after that cold first half.
Davis defended by Nowitzki. And Anderson gets it to go.
Yeah, we're now starting to see them get some high percentage shots in the paint.
Yeah, that's 5 of their last 6 buckets inside the lane, so they're getting really high percentage looks down there. Well, in the recent collective bargaining agreement, one of the rules that was changed was how the D-League can be used by NBA teams. And it's now been ruled that players with 3 or less years of experience in the league could be sent down. And they've added exceptions after that as well. I think it's a good rule.
Aminu misses.
Excellent. Really solid job, actually, by the defense to get in his way as he was going up for that one.
And here's Mayo from the arc. Gets it to go.
And that one should remove all doubt about the outcome of this game. This thing's over.
Now it's just a matter of what the winning margin's going to be.
Going back to the D-League, Steve, it really does seem to be a better use of the league for the NBA. Now they can grow young talent a little easier.
I think it makes perfect sense. Sometimes, a player might be injured. Maybe he gets a rehab assignment in the D-League. It makes the D-League more viable, but it also gives the teams and the players more opportunities to help the player.
And Davis puts it in.
Now, they probably needed more of this earlier, guys. I don't think there's enough time left to get back into the game.
Guys, this is really a case of too little too late, but at least it gives them something to work off of going into the next game.
A different look for Dallas. Elton Brand's checked in for Kaman. Wright comes in for Dirk Nowitzki. And it's Crowder in for Sean Marion. And there's the call on Brandon Wright. That's his first foul.
Well, you like it when a guy goes hard to the boards, but you have to be smart. He went right over his back on that one. Not a good play.
I think he was just over anxious that time.
White is checked in for the Hornets.
At his size, he can really finish at the rim.
Yeah, and not just layups, as you just saw, folks. Wow.
Unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, able to throw it down with ease.
Tipped away. Outside Mayo. Here's the three. No luck. Puts up a prayer. Misses there. So we see the Mavericks taking the win here. Some days, Clark, everything goes right for a team, and they just had one of those games.
Yeah, it certainly was. I mean, these guys played a great all-around basketball game here.
Well, it's time to say so long. For Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan, along with our 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in.